5 seconds. Seconds. Good evening and hope you've had a fantastic day. My name is Medrin Yambura. Welcome to the show This is the Day. We're live on Family TV, also live on Family Radio. So one of the words used to describe women is a strong woman. Others see that as a positive and they're referring to family members, their moms, people who've been there in their lives. But then others will use it in a negative way. And today we're here to have that conversation to ensure that by the time this show is done, we actually understand who a strong woman is. Aren't I excited about the people in the house today? Marianne Williamson, life coach. Hi. Hi. How are you? I will not call you mom today. No. I promise. I have gotten strict instructions. We also have a newcomer who's going to be part of the family, officially one of us now, Stella Angelito, who's the founder of Dada Power Initiative.
Yes.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
So I'll start with you. Do you consider yourself a strong woman?
I do.
What does that mean to you?
A strong woman? I think a strong woman is a woman who knows what she stands for, what she believes in, and goes for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're obviously a strong woman. We have experienced you over and over again. But
thank you.
In your own description, what is a strong woman?
Now, it would take very many kinds of words to describe a strong woman, but I think the one thing that I would like us to think about is that strength is not necessarily vicious or anything negative. And so I would say I am a strong woman because I have the soft side of me, but I have the powerful side of me.
Okay.
And I think the powerful is what makes me strong.
Okay.
Yes.
I liked how you said it. There's the powerful side and then there's the softer side. Because they say in every woman there's the little girl.
Yes.
But then I'd ask you, can you be a strong woman and still remain feminine? Because then that's one of the stereotypes. A strong woman is very abrasive. So can you be strong and still remain feminine?
Yes, you can. I mean, it's just about being who you are and being in touch with your core, your emotions, but also understanding where to show the emotions and where not to show. Okay. And it has nothing much to do with femininity. I mean, femininity you can't take away unless you're faking it because you are born with it. It's in you, it's nature. Yeah.
I hear you. Mom, can you be...
It's okay. It's all right,
ma'am.
Okay. Marianne Williamson.
Yes.
Can you be a strong woman and still show the softer side without compromising your strength?
Precisely.
Okay.
Because strength should actually come out as very, very positive. When you're a strong person, it means that you have a lot of influence, positive influence around you. You are one who brings energy. Wherever you are, you are one person who believes in yourself. And so when you are with people, or when you're with other people, you want them to feel you. You want, because you believe in what you're saying. You believe in what you do. And so you just want it to be when you're among people.
Okay.
And so, you know, we shouldn't fight about being, I mean, you won't stop me from being strong. You know?
Okay.
And I think the problem is not with the strong woman, it's with the person who looks at the strong woman. Because you can tag me in any way. You can call me hard-headed. You can call me headstrong. You can call me all those adjectives. But in the end, what you're saying is that I make a difference in your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I mean, it depends with how you define soft. Is soft being that you don't talk, that you're good, and so, yeah, you're a soft woman, and
that
we don't know
timid.
whether you're strong, or is soft to mean that you accommodate other people. I mean, it all depends with how you define soft. Okay. So no, you're not, I mean, being quiet or dimming your light or your voice is not really being soft. It's actually doing that, dimming your light. Okay. So in that case, then you could be strong, but we don't see the strength because then you don't say what it is that you think about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You know, what you're saying brings to mind something I was reading today, where they said, as a woman, you're not intimidating. It's them who are intimidated. It's them. It's not you.
Yeah.
It's them. Yeah. So I'll ask you this, Marianne.
Yes.
What's the place of a strong woman, say, at an office or a work setup? What's their place?
I think they belong I think they have a place because a strong person, like I said, influences. A strong person would change the people around her. Mm-hmm. And this is for the better. A strong woman would make decisions where others may feel they are not able to.
Okay.
And a strong woman is dependable. Others look up to you. So when you're there and people see you as their strength, you're their anchor, then it makes a difference. And it makes you purposeful. And I think you take your position as it is, as a strong woman.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just follow this up. Are all the leaders, specifically female leaders at work, are they strong women?
Depends on what you look at.
Okay.
Because some of the people you may call strong are actually very weak inside.
Okay.
Let me give this example. You're in the office. You have a title. You have a position. You have duties to carry out, and you carry them out very well because you have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have everything it takes. But inside of you, you're very weak. So that even as you make decisions, your emotions are pegged to it, whether it is whatever it is that you might feel. But let me even move away from the office. You are a tough leader in the office. But the minute you step into your house, another side takes over. The timid, the very fearful, the very intimidated. You can imagine you've come from a position where you should be intimidating, if I may say.
Yes.
But then when you get to your house, you go to the other extreme. And now you're intimidated, you're fearful, you can't even make decisions in your own house. Then I wouldn't call you a strong woman. Okay. Because a strong woman is not dependent upon the situations around her. It means that you're strong and you can overcome situations that are around you.
Okay.
Yes.
I get that. She's touched on it a bit when you go home with a timid person. So in a family setup, what's the role of this strong woman? What does it mean for the strength of the woman to exist in a family setup?
Yeah, I think first of all, in a family, of course, she has an important role as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, even if she lives alone. And the most important thing is to be true to yourself and to do what you believe in and to go for what you want. Okay. So, yeah, again, it goes back to the definition of a strong woman. Who is a strong woman? It's a woman who chooses to go for better, and better doesn't need to be more. It means dignity. It means the way you do things, your standards, the people you associate with, how do they treat you, how do you treat them? Yeah. So whatever role you play at the home setting or in school or at work, yeah, it all depends with your values and what you believe in and what you want to go for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might I say I love that I'm in the company of strong women. This conversation is very good.
You are a strong woman.
Because you're a strong one.
It's good to be in the same company. So let me ask you, are political leaders, and I look at Kenya, Africa specifically, are Kenyan women, female leaders, are they strong women, would you say?
I would say quite a number of them are. Because when you look at the politics in Kenya, let's even not touch on politics. Let's remember that this is a patriarchal society we are living in. There's a lot of male chauvinism. There is a lot of male ego that doesn't want to accommodate some certain things that women do. And so when you become the daring woman, one who challenges the status quo, one who wants to position herself, then of course there's a lot of opposition. Okay. And for any woman who overcomes that opposition, I can tell you is a strong woman.
Okay.
Yes.
I was even thinking of, we talked about this on radio, the likes of Governor Charity Ngilu, Mother Karua, people who've overcome so much to be where they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think as the female population, which again, we have the votes, we have everything, do we appreciate the strength of these political leaders who are female?
I think we do. I mean, since way back when we've had women political leaders, they have been elected by people. And many times, even if they have lost, they have had voters who've believed in them.
Okay.
But we have to, like Marianne says, the political space or sector is a male-dominated sector,
Yes.
and it's tough, and it's associated with a lot of patriarchy, and so it's said not to be of women as such as it is for men. So to have women who have survived and who have actually clinched seats in that whole space, it means that all those women, and not only in Kenya, it's a global issue, that women have made it in this patriarchal, very unfair, very unequal space. Then all of them are very strong women.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think, of course, we are not where we would want to be, but I think voters do appreciate women leaders, and that's why they vote for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just follow this up. We were doing a story of the midterm elections in the US. The first time in history where they've had the most women run, and I
Yes.
thought, my goodness, if you think the political scene here is crazy, try that one.
Yes.
Do you think it will trickle down to, say, Africa when we get to a point, let's say Kenya 2022, when you're trying to vote leaders in? Will it trickle down to us?
I think it will. I mean, we can already see now we have 3 governors, and even when you go down to MCAs and even 3 women senators, it's all opening up every time. So it's about changing perceptions one person at a time, and not only among women, but also among men. So yeah, I mean, if we keep improving and increasing the numbers, then it means that, yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there?
Yes, we're getting there.
I am hopeful.
Yeah.
Marianne, is strength, the strength in a woman, is it innate? Is it something you're born with?
I believe that when God created us, He gave inner power in us. But then again, and that includes us women, we are powerful because God created us and put in us power. However, we are affected by different factors: the social factors, cultural factors, political factors. So many environmental situations come together to conspire against women. And so, for me, I believe that when you unleash that power, when you unleash the potential in a woman, that is when you get to see her power. But this can only come when you give her space to do so. But how many people will give that space? You just asked, do women appreciate the power in these women whom we elect?
Yes.
And I agree with Stella that the fact that they have been appointed or elected by the electorate, then it means that they are appreciated. But look at the numbers. Then
They're
it
really
will tell
struggling.
you that we still don't believe in power of the woman. And I think it's a fact that where women have led, there's a lot to talk about.
Okay.
They have great influence, and a woman's heart is with the people. A woman's heart bleeds for her people. And so when they take that, when they take charge, when they have that space, they bring change. But how many people will give them that opportunity? How many people even believe in it? Because we are the first ones to fight our fellow women. When a woman does a mistake in public, we condemn her twice or thrice more than when the man does the same thing. And so I think we need to understand that all of us being human have the innate power in us. And we all have the right to exercise this. And I would say that for as long as we muzzle and muffle the women, will never experience the wondrous nature and the wondrous power that has been given to them by God, and which can be life-changing to our communities.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that, because then that's the positive side. We're just getting started. You have gotten so much feedback. I will let the ladies address that. But for now, we asked the Kenyans on the street what it means to have a strong woman, and quite interesting thoughts. Just have a listen and watch as well.
A strong woman is a woman who can take care of the family, not relying on not relying on the husband. Yeah, basically you can take care of your family, whether there's man or no, you are single.
So I would define a strong woman as a woman who respects herself, a woman who can take care of herself, a woman who doesn't intimidate, whether maybe she has money or anything, but she can be able to handle each and every situation, whether she is in pain, she can be able to take care of the family, and she can be able to define herself without relying maybe on the perception of others or not relying on what other people will say.
A strong woman has to be a faithful woman, and then she has to fend for the family, be responsible, and then take care of her husband.
Ni mtu mwenye whatever ana face, as in ako tu strong, ako tu hapo, haezi give up, ana go for it.
My definition of a strong woman is a woman that stands by her words, meaning that a woman that stands by her word can stand by you as a man. She can be there in the times of your struggles. She can be there. She may understand you because she's understanding also. That is how I think about her.
According to me, I think a strong woman is the woman that can independ on herself when she's alone, because sometimes you can be a single mother depending on the will of God. So I think a strong woman is a woman that can depend on herself and take care of their family, even if when her husband is not around.
A strong woman naweza sema ni mtu mwenye anaweza kuwa dependent on herself, as in she doesn't have to rely on like men to provide for her. She can provide for herself.
According to me and my understanding, a strength of a woman is a woman who take care. It doesn't matter which kind of care, but who cares. Maybe to the family, to the man, and who do according to what it is necessary.
The last man there was so passionate, take care. It doesn't matter what care. But there's something that has come off. A woman who can provide for herself. And in my mind, I'm assuming that's financial provision. Does it lean towards that? Do you agree? That's what a strong woman is?
I don't only think it's financial only. It could also be, even mentally, like you rely on yourself. You don't really depend on somebody else to come and, make you feel you're stable and all. But it's very important to be independent for a woman, especially, because then it means that you determine how your life goes, the direction of your life, and you're not at the mercy of anybody. And this is because we've seen, even in our own society, that relying on somebody else, not only on a man, but even on somebody else, it has its consequences. It means that the speed at which you go through life is dependent on somebody else. So, being independent is key.
Okay. Do you agree, Marianne?
Precisely. I think what brings the problem is when we make strength seem materialistic, or when we talk about strength in terms of things. And I think I spoke about inner strength, inner power. And that is what makes you survive. That is what makes you as a woman. And I liked what one of them said, one who can depend on herself even when she's alone. Because look at what is happening. Today, a woman is widowed and she goes down. A woman is divorced, she goes down. And yet she has so much on her shoulders. And what we are saying is, a woman who is strong, believes in herself, takes on the responsibilities that are with her. She believes that she can make it, even when deep inside of her, everything is against her. Yeah. But she believes she can do it. That is strength that comes from the inside. And it's not dictated by what you have. Because some people will say, I have no money, so I can't move on. But you see, there's something deeper. There's something stronger in you when you let it out. And that's what I said about unleashing the power from within. That is what makes you survive. That is what makes you able to do the things that you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear you. Somebody saying hi to you. Stella Angelito. Somebody saying Stella Angelito is my friend. Thank you for this discussion. What is the essence of the strength of a woman? So maybe you'll say that again. And I like this question. I like the tough questions when they come. And what is this discussion aimed at achieving? So I'll start with you. What is the essence of the strength of a woman?
I think it's to do life the best that you can, because then that inner power makes you see things the way you see them. And it's about finding your identity. So do you find your identity, like Marianne is saying, in things or in people, or do you find it in yourself? Because you are born with that power. It makes you find out what your strength is, what are your weaknesses, what were you made for, what do you answer to, where are you anchored, and so that then you're not struggling with small things that would make you stop at your journey of doing life. So that's the essence of having strength as a woman, as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. When we started, I like the question you asked, what is the essence of, what is this discussion aimed at achieving? For us, it's basically to break the stereotypes and understand where the place is of the strong woman. So maybe you can speak on that as well.
Help the woman to understand that she has a God-given strength in her that does not depend on anyone. Whether you're single or married, everyone depends on you. So how can they be depending on you and yet you don't believe that you have strength?
Okay.
So the essence of this discussion is for us as women to understand that the strength in us is not dependent on men or children or other people. It's about us discovering ourselves, believing in ourselves, building ourselves, and really taking up the position that will enable us to take care of our families, to take care of our jobs, to take care of relationships, to take care of our children, and to show others the way. Because in the end, I think the greatest teacher is obviously the woman.
Okay.
And so if she doesn't believe in this, if she doesn't believe that she has strength, how will she move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is not really about fighting the men or fighting anybody for that matter. I have a husband. I believe he has his strength.
Yeah.
He is a strong man. But this is not about him. It's about me living with this strong man without feeling intimidated, because he has his mandate, he has his strength, which I must complement.
Okay.
But I cannot complement it with weakness. Yes.
But
Go
it's
ahead.
to also make people understand what a strong woman is not. Because a strong woman is not bitter.
Yes.
A strong woman is not frustrated. A strong woman is not rejected. It is a woman who believes in herself and knows her worth and goes for it, and does not see the need to negotiate for less. Yeah. So a lot of people say, oh, she's a strong person because she doesn't date. She's divorced. Not really.
Ooh, girl.
Strong women are happy women. They love
That's true.
themselves. They are confident about themselves. And they actually believe that love is not only about giving, it is also about taking. It's about receiving. So I give you grace, but I also expect you to give me grace. So I'm not a frustrated woman. I'm not a bitter woman.
Yes.
I'm just a confident woman who loves herself and expects to be treated in the best way possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madrin, I think I love the proverbial woman, Proverbs 31.
That woman is scary.
I keep telling people
Yes.
that they will always want to see this woman in terms of taking care of her children, taking care of her husband, feeding her husband, but look at the strength in her.
Yeah.
We are told that she brings honor with the great things that she does with her hands. Only a strong woman will do things that will be substantial enough for others to note.
Okay.
So she makes her husband take note, but others also take note of the husband, not even the woman. They take note of the husband because of the strength of his woman.
I like that.
And this woman goes beyond that. We are told she sees land and buys it. She sends out ships, merchant ships, and brings in, things to sell. She does great things. And this, she doesn't even boast. Actually, we are told that she's respected. She's a woman of substance. But then look at what else is told about her. The way she dresses, her appearance, everything about her speaks of greatness. How can you be great without strength?
Yeah.
And we need to get out of that. Women, let us get out of that situation where people want us to believe that being a woman calls for timidity,
Being good, in quotes.
and that humility is being timid, that humility is sitting back, not speaking.
Yeah.
We need to be decision makers. How will our husbands manage when even the smallest thing, they have to call upon somebody else to come and help? I need to be there. The strength of my husband, the strength of my family, that they can depend on me even to make decisions when things are in their thickest.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear that. You've talked about humility. Somebody saying, hi, this is Victor watching from Homer Bay. Hi, Victor. It's all about humility. Women can be strong in their small areas like families, businesses, places of work. One doesn't have to shine out in order to be strong like in politics. I actually agree with that. Actually, women who show strength might end up being... I'm sorry, I can't read that on air. I'm sorry. I just can't read that. I actually think, no. Being a strong woman to me is not material strength. It's part of it. But I think strength comes from finding your identity in God and trusting in God totally. I like that. Stella, you are phenomenal and becoming. Where? Okay. Great example to young women in our country watching live from Wayaki Way, Sarah Thiga. Now, Stella, I need you to come in and help me explain this. This came on radio, but I figured let's have it on TV as well. So first of all, the first person told me, check the year in which women in America were allowed to vote for the first time. I think she's trying to talk about the women's suffrage that ended in 1920. The US is one of the most misogynistic societies we have in the world. I totally agree. And then the other person tells me, Medrin, please check your history books. The US does not set the agenda for women in politics. We've had this discussion. Explain what we actually mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, America is the most powerful country, and it's the land of opportunities, so that means the whole world is looking.
Okay.
And we cannot say, and of course America has had issues with gender equality, of course, and look here, gender equality is a global issue. We still haven't gone to places where we feel this is okay, and yes, we've had countries that actually consider 50-50 and they have it and they've implemented, and still gender equality continues to be an issue. But we are saying this, the world is looking at America every time. Why? Because, I mean, it's the most powerful. And so when something happens there, it definitely changes perspectives. Yeah. So look at what happened yesterday. So we already have 2 women, the first 2 Muslim women to be elected into Congress. So what does that tell young Muslim women? What does it tell them? That it's possible, that you can look at Ilhan Omar, honestly, and her fight and her struggle, even being fought and attacked by men way back. But look at her now. Are we saying that that doesn't send a message? Honestly, it does. It does.
Okay.
So we cannot say that. I mean, as much as America has had its struggles, but no, it sends a message to women across the world that, you know what, it's very possible. And look at what they've performed. They've done a good job. I mean, I think 92 women, 94, I'm not sure, but
yes, yes.
Good
The number was 94.
Yeah, definitely, that sends a very strong message to other women,
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also gave the example of Michelle Obama and what that means.
You know,
for every black girl everywhere.
Yeah. And look at the victory of Obama to be president of America. How did that change perspective about blacks in America? And did that send a message to the whole world? It did. Look at Michelle and her work with young girls. Of course, it does send messages to the world. Yes.
Okay. So I hope that is clear, because I did not mean that America determines the African politics, but it does have an influence. When Hillary ran for president, it sent a message. But you can have coffee over this. Okay? So let me ask you, Marianne, is a woman strong at the expense of the man?
At the expense of a man? No.
Never.
Okay.
No.
I asked that because you mentioned some of the stereotypes. She's bitter. She's, others will say she's man-hating. She's that, what do you call them? Then feminists who are to the extreme, who will bash men. Is that the case?
And I think in my conclusion previously, I talked about complementing one another.
Okay.
You know, so what we are saying is that the woman has her own strength. And this, by the way, are gender perspectives. You know, a woman looks at things differently. What bothers a man is probably not what bothers a woman. And so all of us give more attention to what we believe in, what we hold dearly to. And so a woman will be looking at different things, but which complement the man. And I want to repeat this, that this is not a battle between men and women. I wish, even as we talk about gender, and I happen to be in that field, I hope and I wish that every time we talk about gender, remove the word woman. I know it would bring some conflict because many times we are talking about women as the oppressed, girl child as the oppressed. But I want us for once to think about gender in terms of men, women, boys, girls. And this will help us to understand that we are here in this world created with purpose and for purpose, and we must fulfill that purpose. This we will only do through our God-given strength, through our God-given purpose. And if we step on each other, if we oppress one another, then unfortunately we go out of God's intention and we don't fulfill that which God sent us out to do in this world.
But it does bother me when every time when we talk about women, their participation, their engagement in politics and leadership especially, then the conversation about, are they doing it at the expense of men, you know? But it's never the other way around. We never consider men practicing whatever they practice at the expense of women.
True.
So why is it that women now have to convince the society and the public that, you know what, we actually want to engage, but it's not at the expense of men. You know, it's like we're trying to sweet talk you and all. I say this, I mean, and people have an issue with women being more vocal, especially if you're more vocal than your partner, then it's an issue. But it's never the other way around, that the guy is more vocal than the woman. And it's okay, the woman is supporting, the woman allows, you know. So having this conversation also makes us seem as if women are asking for permission to engage. And because, you know, when you say at the expense of men, it means that you're stepping on men. And now, maybe that's why you're able to talk and converse and engage like you are. But no, we're saying women are strong and men are strong, and we cannot apologize for the strength that we have. We want to engage and give us a fair space, not at your expense, but we want to just serve and be ourselves.
To complement.
Yes.
Because it can never be one-sided. Yes.
Okay. Would God want us to be strong women? You've mentioned the God-given strength, but would he want us to be strong women?
Of course. He wouldn't create us with strength and expect us not to use it.
Okay.
Secondly, for us Christians who read the Bible, we know about women who changed an entire tribe. You know? Think about people like Esther. Almost single-handedly, without insulting, without being loud, she used the strength, influence, you know? And so let's stop thinking about physical strength, I don't know, intelligence, and let's not give it names, adjectives. Let us simply say that we are all created uniquely as male or female. But God had intention, and he gave us the means and the strength to do it, to achieve it. So, like she says, like Stella says, we have no apology for the strength that God gave us.
Okay.
But are we using it as women? Are we using it? Or are we so intimidated? Anytime you speak out, you're called a headstrong, a hard-headed woman. I mean, we've got to get out of this and just give women that that space
The
to
things
be
they
who
could
God
say.
intended them to be.
And remember what strength is associated with. It's
Yes.
resilience, it's courage.
Yes.
And when you look at the Bible and the women in the Bible, look at Sarah, look at Mary, even being told that you know
Mary,
what, you're
yeah.
conceiving, and not the normal way. And you know what, you just have to be strong for yourself and the baby. But look at Hannah and her womb being closed, and her having the resilience and the faith that, you know what, I'm waiting on God, and I know and I believe. That's courage, that's strength.
Look at Dorcas,
Yes.
who changed a multitude. People came crying, please bring her back to life.
Yeah.
She didn't have to shout.
That was
All
strength.
she did is do the basics. And the people gave her permission to do it.
Okay.
They gave her space. Her strength was innate. But most importantly, these women took a step. They acted upon that. So many of us are strong, but we are not using the strength.
Yes.
Again, things
Yeah.
I could say. Let's also talk about the strong woman feeling like they're losing their strength. So I have a question. Can your strength be taken advantage of? Is that possible? I'll start with you, Stella.
Yes, it's very possible. And first of all, it's very normal to be vulnerable. That's one thing that we don't want to understand, that you know what? There is strength in vulnerability as well, because you're a human being. Your nature is to express yourself, to cry once in a while, to laugh once in a while. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean that because now we say you're strong, then you should never cry. We should never see you, tear down and pour out your heart. No, it means that you're human. But then the thing is, and somebody was telling me today that, you need to know and you need to understand that as a woman, you have to fall forward, that all the things that you think you shouldn't have done, fine, learn them, cry, pour out and everything, but do that and pick your pieces and go forward. So you're human. You're allowed to be vulnerable.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I like about that is that many people would think, and again, that people appreciate strong women, but many would think strong women are, very macho. And I'm thinking, you need to visit a parking lot. When somebody locks all the windows you sit on your steering and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So again, women will punish themselves for having those moments. So what should we tell them?
I think, like she says very clearly, it doesn't mean that because you're a strong woman, you're not vulnerable. There are moments that come.
Yes.
There are times when things are not working the way you wanted them to. There are times when you're trying to make decisions that are sabotaged. There are times when you're trying to create space for yourself, but somebody else comes and overrides you. The strength here is threatened when you remain on the ground.
Okay.
Your strength is explicit. Your strength comes out stronger when you actually overcome the brokenness. So a strong woman can break down. A strong woman can be broken, but does she remain there? When you can be able to rise up, stand up and dust your clothes and say, I was down, but I'm not out.
Okay.
I was in the ashes, but I'm no longer there. Then that way, you become actually a lesson to the others. And you want people to see and to believe that you don't belong where they have put you. You don't belong where situations have placed you. You can actually rise out of that situation and remain standing.
Okay.
So the question is, you who is going through something, you who is being beaten, you who is abused, you have allowed your power into somebody else's hands. And I like that question that you have asked. Can you allow your strength to be taken? Yes, indeed. Because when you allow the situation to remain, you allow the status quo to remain in your life, then you're saying, well, maybe this is why God created me. Maybe this is why God brought me here. But God says He has good plans for you. Plans not for evil, but for good. Plans with a hope and a future. How can you get your future in that situation?
Okay.
So you've got to, and I like the way, when you're beaten, in wrestling, somebody has been beaten so hard. but they are struggling to rise. They are struggling to rise, and at one point you're thinking, my God, this guy was dead. What just happened?
Yes.
But it's because they bring out all their potential. They bring out the last straw of their strength.
Okay.
And that brings you back to life.
Okay.
So are you willing? That's the question. Are you willing to get out of that situation and get back your strength?
I like that, again, you're shedding light on the positivity of being a strong woman. So this came from a gentleman I was having a conversation with. I will not put you on the blast, don't worry. I know he's listening. We were talking about strong women and dating. And we looked at various examples. So I'll give one. Barack Obama, strong man. Michelle Obama, strong woman. Together, power couple. They achieved what was unbelievable. But then you'll find a lady has her act together. Yani, she's put together kabisa. Then there's a random jama who will crush her, or she will put herself in a situation where she's so crushed that it does not make sense. Why does that happen?
I think, wow, dating means relationships, so it means relating. And you have to be very careful with dating or relationships because, first of all, like I said, you have to understand yourself, your standards, what you believe in, what you can take, like, your bare minimums. And so when you don't understand that, it's very easy to find yourself in very compromising situations because then you want to fit in sometimes, you want to make them happy, you forget yourself. Yeah. And again, another question that would come up is, so why is it that all these many independent women do not have partners and all,
Stella, I appreciate you for asking that question.
So then the idea is, and most people think that it's the women who have an issue, but not always really. It's about, so is the other person, the other party willing to take me as I am? Because the thing is, I know my standards. I know who I am. I know what I can take and what I can take. So are you willing to do that, or does who I am intimidate who you are? So then if you're intimidated, then I feel like I prefer to be alone. So maybe that's why we find so many independent women who believe in themselves being alone. Not that they want that or they choose that, not really, but because they would prefer to be alone than to, dim their light to make somebody feel secure. Yeah, they know their identity and they're just secure with themselves.
Just light a fire completely. Just light a fire.
I work with men. I work with men and boys, and one of the things that men will constantly tell me is that the girl child is so empowered, and currently what the boys are struggling with is how to cope with an empowered girl.
Okay.
So I don't want to sound harsh, but really the girl is not the problem. And do I say?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Marianne. Go ahead.
So really, without sounding or without wishing to sound mean, I would say that the man here is the problem.
Okay.
It's not the problem, the girl's problem. It's not the lady's problem. And I love the question because it comes at dating time.
Yes.
Now you can imagine if it's in the married.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it's in dating, I would say the girl must be so sure about herself.
Yes.
What she believes in, what she feels about herself and about relationships, and what does she want ahead of her. This thing about blind love is what is killing girls.
Yes.
It's what, because in the end, you can't have someone who is dating you, bashing you, crushing your dignity, crushing your self-esteem, crushing your self-confidence, and you say he loves you? No. And you call him strong? No. He's a weakling who cannot face up to you.
Okay.
So you need to really be sure about yourself.
Okay.
You need to believe in yourself. And there are good men.
They're very good men. Yeah.
And they are equally not so good women.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
That's
is
true.
reality of life. But that does not make us rule out strong women and strong men.
Yeah.
So, and like I will keep saying, we are not fighting a battle of the two genders.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear that. Stella, I'll direct this to you because you also got the question, what is the essence of the strength of a woman? So great greetings. I like that. Great show on a strong woman. Thank you for hosting strong ladies on the show who are role models to young ladies. I have really learnt a lot. And this is Edward Kalia. And he's saying, quick question. Is there a difference between a strong woman and a woman of strength because it has been portrayed differently?
I don't think there's any difference. I mean, it's strength. It's a woman with strength and a woman who knows her power and lives it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it just depends on what exactly you're doing, but at the end of the day, it's just a strong woman. She's powerful in her own ways and she goes for what she wants, and she's not apologetic. And
I like what you both said about finding your identity, especially when you're putting yourself in a relationship.
Yes.
Because many times, sisters, I care for you, but many times as women, you'll have your other aspects of life together.
Yes,
and
but
somehow this one you toss to the wind. Hopefully it happens, but that's a whole other topic. To a man who's raising a daughter, do you raise a strong woman?
I would say that for girls, they truly look up to their dads in a big way. And they are influenced a lot by their fathers.
Okay.
So if they have a father who is crushing them, a father who does not allow them to be who they are, a father who will constantly criticize them, then they start believing that this is where I am supposed to be.
Okay.
This is who I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to talk. I'm not supposed to go to certain places. I'm not supposed to mingle with certain people. And this follows you throughout your life.
Okay.
So you'll find people who are not able to date today, not because they don't have love in them, not because they're not beautiful, but every time they make that move, their father's voice is right here. And these things are so real. Remember in the book of Isaiah, God himself says, if you move out of the path, the right path, you will constantly hear my voice. You will constantly hear my voice behind you saying, move to the left.
Yes.
Move to the right. And that's our Father. That's our Heavenly Father. And the earthly Father takes the same position. So every time you'll hear your father's voice, don't look at him. Don't mingle.
Okay.
Don't do this.
Okay.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
And so you'll never believe that you're supposed to go to certain places. So I would appeal to men who have daughters.
Yes.
Prepare them for the world ahead. Remember, you're the strength that they look up to. If you give the weak hand, that is who they become. And your children, your daughters, will constantly be vulnerable. They will constantly be oppressed. They will go through the motions that you set for them, because that's a platform you're setting for them. And every time they go out and meet others who are able to do things they never thought should be done by them, they'll have conflicts within themselves.
Okay.
And when they try it out, it will not come out genuinely. And so they start fighting with their partners. They start, someone told me not to be using, we shouldn't, you either have a husband or a partner.
Please allow me to cut you off. I need to get to you in about 30 seconds maximum. Can you explain how you were brought up and how that space allowed you to be the strong woman you are today?
Yeah. So first, for me, I was raised by a very strong woman. Yeah. A mother of 3, raised daughters single-handedly, and that really spoke a lot to us, because then she raised us knowing that, there is nothing I cannot provide for you, and there is nothing you cannot do. I just need you to go through school and to be of very good character, and you can conquer the world. So strong women are raised. And one thing that we do not understand as a society is a lot of the things that we see, a lot of insecurities that we see in people are rooted in the family, parenthood, or lack of it, really.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the first agent of socialization. So if it doesn't teach you to believe in yourself and to be secure as a person, then it's going to be shaky, and it has to be remedied somewhere in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stella Angelito, Marianne Sambigi, we need to have coffee. This was such an engaging conversation. And to you, thank you so much. I couldn't get to all the feedback, but we thank you for engaging us. Tomorrow we'll be right back with another topic. But for now, have a good night. Tupatane kesho.